How to think and speak. Alex always dreaded speaking English. The words felt trapped, tangled in a confusing mess of grammar rules and vocabulary lists. Every attempt was met with a wave of self-doubt and the crushing fear of making yet another embarrassing mistake. It felt like an impossible mountain to climb. The silence felt safer than stuttering. Their mind raced, desperately translating thoughts from their native language, a futile exercise that only led to frustrating delays. This internal struggle was exhausting. By the time a coherent sentence formed, the conversation had moved on, leaving Alex feeling isolated and profoundly inadequate. It was a vicious cycle. Public speaking in English was a nightmare. The mere thought sent shivers down their spine. Hands would tremble, voices would crack, and the perfect sentence would vanish into thin air. Every interaction felt like a high-stakes performance, judged by an invisible panel of unforgiving critics, amplifying existing anxiety levels. Why do I always make mistakes? This question echoed relentlessly in Alex's mind after every failed attempt. It felt as if some fundamental part of their brain simply refused to grasp the intricate nuances of English, leaving them perpetually stuck in a cycle of frustration and unfulfilled potential. Observing fluent speakers was both inspiring and disheartening. Their effortless flow, natural pauses, and confident delivery seemed light years away from Alex's hesitant attempts. They wondered, how do other people talk in English so smoothly? It appeared like an innate talent, not something one could truly learn. Traditional learning methods, grammar exercises, vocabulary flashcards, provided a solid foundation, yet they failed to bridge the gap to actual spoken fluency. Knowing the rules didn't magically translate into confident conversation. Alex needed something more. A breakthrough that went beyond rote memorization and typical textbook drills. Then came a simple, yet profound suggestion. Just listen. Not just to understand the meaning, but to absorb the sounds, the rhythm, and the natural intonation patterns. This shift from passive reception to active engagement was the initial spark, igniting a new, more intuitive approach to learning. Alex decided to immerse themselves in British English. Podcasts like Desert Island Discs, BBC documentaries, and captivating interviews became their daily companions. The goal was to internalize the specific accent, common phrases, and the characteristic musicality of spoken British English, making it feel perfectly natural. Active listening involved more than just hearing words. Alex began to notice subtle nuances. The slight rise at the end of a question, the stressed syllables, the way words linked together seamlessly. Every listening session became a focused study of natural speech patterns, revealing hidden linguistic treasures daily. Mimicking sounds became a new, slightly silly, but incredibly effective practice. Alex would repeat phrases, trying to match the exact pronunciation and intonation, often alone in their room. This physical act of producing specific sounds helped solidify muscle memory and improve articulation significantly over time. Listening wasn't just about vocabulary. It built an intuitive grasp of grammar and sentence structure. Without consciously analyzing rules, Alex's brain began to recognize correct patterns. It taught the subconscious mind how sentences naturally formed, proving that immersion was far more potent than mere academic study. The more Alex listened, the more comfortable the language felt. Familiar patterns emerged, reducing the mental effort required to process information. This growing familiarity slowly chipped away at the speaking anxiety. The daunting task of forming sentences became less intimidating, more like a solvable puzzle. The biggest hurdle remained: thinking in English. Alex realized that constantly translating thoughts from their native language into English was hindering fluency. To overcome this, Alex started with small, deliberate steps towards internal English monologues. They would describe objects around them, plan their next meal, or silently narrate their commute, all exclusively within their mind using English words. This was crucial foundational mental training. Vocabulary building shifted from rote memorization to direct association. Instead of linking an English word to its native translation, Alex began associating words directly with images, feelings, and concepts. This bypassed the need for internal translation, streamlining the thought process and accelerating understanding naturally. Daily activities became opportunities for internal narration. I am making tea now, the kettle is boiling. The bus is late, I need to walk faster. These silent dialogues solidified direct English thinking, gradually transforming it from a conscious effort into an unconscious and automatic process. Gradually, the internal translator began to fade into the background. Thoughts started forming directly in English, feeling faster, more natural, and incredibly liberating. This mental shift was a significant breakthrough, finally allowing ideas to flow freely, unencumbered by the old, laborious translation method. Even with this new internal fluency, the act of opening their mouth to speak remained a formidable challenge. The fear of being judged, of sounding awkward, lingered stubbornly. It was one thing to think fluently, quite another to articulate those thoughts aloud in front of others. Start step by step talking, Alex told themselves. They began with single words, then short phrases like thank you or excuse me. The goal was simply to produce sound, to break the silence, no pressure for grammatical perfection, just to get words out there. Finding safe spaces was essential. Alex practiced talking to themselves in the mirror, recording voice notes on their phone, and even speaking to their tolerant cat. These judgment-free environments allowed for unrestrained experimentation, building crucial vocal muscle memory, without the stress of external scrutiny. Next, Alex sought out a patient, understanding language exchange partner. Conversations were low stakes, focusing on simple daily topics. This removed much of the pressure, allowing Alex to experiment with new phrases and pronunciation, without the intense fear of sounding silly or making critical errors. The greatest shift was embracing mistakes. The old philosophy, mistakes are failures, was replaced by a new understanding. Mistakes are invaluable learning opportunities. Every error became a signpost, guiding Alex towards greater accuracy and more natural expression. It was a profound paradigm shift. Instead of dwelling on errors, Alex started analyzing them. Why did I say went instead of gone there? This analytical approach transformed frustration into valuable insights. Each mistake illuminated a specific grammar point or vocabulary gap that needed targeted reinforcement and focused attention. Actively requesting corrections from understanding partners became a regular practice. Please tell me when I make a mistake. This required humility, but the feedback was a gift, accelerating Alex's learning curve immensely and proving that constructive criticism was indeed helpful for progress. Confidence wasn't built overnight, but through an accumulation of small wins. Every successful sentence, every understood joke, every moment of clear communication added a brick to the wall of self-assurance. These small victories cemented belief in their own growing capabilities. Alex realized that mistakes often stemmed from overthinking, or simply a lack of exposure to natural language patterns. They weren't indicative of inherent inability. This realization lessened the internal pressure, allowing for a more relaxed and effective approach to continuous improvement and practical application. The crucial step was continuing to speak despite making errors, pushing through the discomfort, even when words stumbled or sentences felt awkward. This resilience built true fluency, proving that consistency and perseverance were far more important than achieving instantaneous perfection in any given conversation. Alex keenly observed how other people talk in English, their conversational fillers, like natural pauses and seamless topic transitions. Integrating these elements made Alex's own speech sound more authentic and less robotic, closer to genuine native-like conversation and natural flow. Moving beyond textbook formality, Alex delved into common idioms, slang, and colloquialisms. Understanding these nuanced expressions made conversations richer and more relatable. It allowed for deeper connections and a more authentic comprehension of everyday English interactions, broadening their overall linguistic scope. Role-playing common scenarios became a fun, effective practice. Ordering food, asking for directions, making small talk at a party. Rehearsing these interactions built muscle memory and reduced on-the-spot hesitation. It transformed potential anxiety into anticipated conversational success and fluent exchanges. The power of repetition proved undeniable. Repeating new phrases and entire sentence structures until they felt natural and automatic significantly reduced hesitation. This consistent practice ingrained linguistic patterns into Alex's memory, allowing for smoother, faster recall during spontaneous conversations and discussions. Improvisation practice, speaking on random topics for 1 minute without stopping, even if it meant rambling, proved invaluable. This exercise built fluency under pressure and encouraged quick thinking. It forced Alex to produce continuous English speech, regardless of perfection, pushing past mental blocks. Alex started building a personal phrase bank. Not just isolated words, but entire useful phrases and sentence patterns. This targeted approach addressed specific weaknesses and provided ready-made expressions for common situations, dramatically improving conversational efficiency and natural expression over time. Mindfulness in speaking became a key principle. Instead of focusing solely on grammar, Alex concentrated on conveying the message, connecting with the person, and being present in the conversation. This shift reduced self-consciousness, making interactions more genuine and less stressful overall. Overcoming self-consciousness was critical. Alex realized most people are too focused on their own thoughts to harshly judge someone else's accent or minor grammatical slips. This realization freed them from unnecessary internal scrutiny, allowing for more relaxed and spontaneous communication, a truly freeing moment. The immense satisfaction of successfully conveying a complex idea, or making someone laugh, became a powerful motivator. These moments of genuine connection and understanding proved that the effort was worthwhile, solidifying Alex's belief in their growing ability to communicate effectively. Gradually, Alex expanded conversational topics from simple daily routines to more abstract ideas, personal opinions, and complex experiences. This broadened their linguistic range and confidence in discussing diverse subjects, marking significant progress beyond basic functional communication skills. Utilizing online resources became second nature. YouTube channels dedicated to language learning, interactive apps, and global online communities provided endless opportunities for immersive listening and practical speaking practice with diverse accents and styles, making learning highly accessible and engaging. Delving deeper into British English nuances, Alex explored regional accents within the UK, British humor, and specific cultural references. This added a rich layer of authenticity to their comprehension and expression, making their connection with the chosen accent even stronger and more natural. Working on intonation, the rise and fall of speech, was crucial for clarity and naturalness. Making questions sound like questions and statements sound definitive, significantly improved how Alex's messages were perceived. It brought expressiveness and emotion to their spoken English, enhancing overall comprehension. Connecting thoughts smoothly using transition words and phrases, however, therefore, in addition, made Alex's speech more coherent and easier to follow. This improved flow allowed for more complex arguments and detailed explanations, demonstrating a higher level of linguistic sophistication and mastery. The power of consistency proved paramount. Daily, even short practice sessions of 15 to 20 minutes yielded far better results than infrequent, long, intensive study bursts. Regular exposure and consistent engagement reinforced learning, making it a sustainable and highly effective long-term strategy for improvement. Regularly reviewing old recordings or journal entries became a powerful way to witness tangible improvement. Observing the progression in fluency, reduction in hesitation, and increased confidence was incredibly motivating, proving that consistent effort indeed led to measurable and significant progress over time. As Alex's English improved, they started helping others on their own language journey. Teaching and explaining concepts reinforced their own understanding, identifying areas for further growth. This act of giving back further solidified their confidence and made the learning process more rewarding overall. A profound realization emerged. Perfect English doesn't exist. Even native speakers make mistakes or use informal language that defies textbook rules. The true goal became effective, genuine communication, not flawless grammatical precision, liberating Alex from the unattainable pursuit of perfection. The transformation from crippling anxiety to a sense of liberation was palpable. English, once a source of dread, became a tool for connection and self-expression. It felt like unlocking a new part of themselves, a voice previously silenced by fear and apprehension. This newfound confidence in speaking English spilled over into other areas of Alex's life. They became more daring, more open to new experiences, and more willing to step outside their comfort zone, embracing challenges with a newfound sense of self-belief and optimism. Alex understood that learning is a continuous journey, not a destination. There would always be new vocabulary, new idioms, and more nuanced expressions to discover. Embracing this ongoing process made learning enjoyable and prevented the feeling of ever finishing the language. English became more than just a skill. It integrated into Alex's identity. It was a bridge to new cultures, a pathway to diverse friendships, and a key to understanding global perspectives. This profound connection enriched their life in countless unexpected and wonderful ways. The final, empowering realization was that true fluency isn't about the absence of mistakes, but the ability to communicate effectively, recover gracefully from errors, and connect genuinely with others. It was about flow, not flawlessness, and authentic human interaction. Alex now shared their journey, a testament that anyone can achieve this. It requires patience, strategic practice, and a bold willingness to step out of the comfort zone. One hesitant word at a time, transforming fear into articulate, confident expression. The choice to focus on British English proved particularly rewarding for Alex. They found a particular charm, clarity, and elegance in its phonetics and vocabulary, which became a comfortable, effective, and distinct personal style for all their interactions. English was no longer a separate study task, but an integrated, natural part of daily life. Listening to podcasts, thinking in English, speaking with friends, and reading articles became effortless habits, demonstrating a complete shift from conscious effort to subconscious fluency. A virtuous circle formed. Listening informed speaking. Speaking revealed gaps for more targeted listening and learning, which in turn improved subsequent speaking. This continuous feedback loop accelerated Alex's progress, creating a dynamic and self-sustaining path to mastery. Ultimately, confidence in speaking English wasn't born from achieving perfection. It blossomed from consistent effort, resilience in the face of errors, and the sheer courage to simply try again and again, until every word found its rightful confident place.